Well, good morning, everybody. You know, we're going to open the show with a really serious topic, but one that we really felt that needed to be addressed right here on WHAS 11 and Great Day Live. One of our own was the target of a vicious and a hate-filled email. WHAS 11 reporter Bobbi McSwine is a fixture on our night team. You probably see her on GMK with stories as well from the night side. Recently, she received a really hateful email that was targeting her appearance. So she decided to take this person on and then take the matter public, address it, and shut it down. So we thought this was a really great opportunity to invite Bobbi on the show because we think this is such an important discussion, right? We followed your lead, Bobbi, so thank you for putting light on this. Thank you for being so brave about it, and thank you for coming on the show, because we thought, why don't we talk to our viewers about it and say, whoa, this is not right, not right. So I guess take us back to the beginning, like talk about the email and when you got it, because it was an email, it wasn't like out on Twitter.
Yeah, it was an email, and first of all, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have the platform to talk about it. So I was in Frankfurt covering the Capitol announcement about the Eastern Kentucky flooding, and I just went to check my email afterward. I went live a few times in the early shows, and the subject was unkempt appearance. And so I was like, okay, what is this about? So I opened it, and really it was talking about my appearance, but to me and to everyone who supported this, really knew between the lines what this was about.
There's a lot of racist vibes going on there. I mean, it was under there. We knew that's what he wanted to say.
Exactly.
We get his point. He made his point.
Exactly. And so when you talk about appearance and you talk about being unprofessional looking, what does that really mean? Especially as a black woman, any minorities, when people say that, it's so much deeper. And so I just knew right away. I knew that I wanted to post it just because I've seen posts like this before, and I just feel as though you have to call out that type of thing, because that's the only way to stamp out that type of hate. Right. And obviously you want to erase it, but addressing it can make just one person feel better who received this type of email, who didn't speak out and wanted to. So
did you take like a couple of days to think, okay, what am I gonna say? Because what you said, it just shut it down. It shut it down in such a way. How did you kind of go through that process? If I want to say this, but let me sleep on it, because I really want to say, you know, this.
Actually, it was the same day.
Yeah,
it was a few hours later. So I did think about it a little bit before I posted and before I responded to the email, but I didn't take too much time. I knew I could have blown up and replied back to this person in a hateful way as they did to me, but I decided not to, because I wanted to make them think. So I asked the questions: is it because my hair is curly? Is it because my skin is not white? Because I wanted them to think about what they were saying, and so posing those questions to them would cause them to reflect. Like, why am I saying she's ugly and her appearance is terrible and she should be ashamed? Like, so yeah, I didn't take too long, but I did take maybe a few hours to respond.
Well, there was just such an outpouring of support. I think we all saw that, and it was like immediately, I know here at WHAS, we all wanted to say, we support you, and we are sorry that this happened to you. And you just wanted to, you had to feel that, you know, just that outpouring of support from everybody here, but not just us here in the building. The community responded.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by, like, when you went through, were you like, oh my goodness, that person just, everybody's is joining in, and they're letting me know they love me and support me?
Yes, I was very surprised. You know, I expected my family here at WHAS to respond, and other friends that I know back in Lexington, and just, you know, people that I know, but it was from different parts of the country, the West Coast, all the way up north, and it was a lot, and I was so grateful. And honestly, I responded and said, you know, if I haven't thanked you personally, please know I'm so grateful.
We'll keep it up with all the
I tried to at first, you know, respond to everybody, but I said that also because I didn't know that I needed that type of support. I thought that I had a pretty good handle on my response, and I thought that I handled it well. And, you know, over the years, I'm a young adult now, so I'm confident in myself. And so I didn't really think I needed that support. But seeing all those comments, it it gave me what I needed.
Good.
Yeah.
We wanted you to know we were there for you. We continue to be, and this is not the first time. I feel like we hear this a lot in this market. We've heard this a couple of times, from other TV stations. People have been singled out, other reporters. This happened at our sister station in New Orleans, where the morning anchor, Sheba Turk, was called out, and she flat shut them down on Twitter. I mean, where do you think, we're bringing this up to have this discussion to say, A, this is not appropriate, but B, this is how it impacts. We're human beings. You cannot talk to people that way. How do we move this conversation forward, and how do we continue to educate people about this? That it happens and that we can't do this.
Exactly. I think addressing it in a public platform is so important. Things like this is important. And representation. It's so good to see so many minorities and Black women and Black men on television now wearing their hair as they should, naturally it comes out of their head. And we need more of that. And we need people to speak out against it. We need white allies to speak out as they did on this post as well, because, that's how we call out things like this. And that's why I'm so thankful for the support, because there were so many people who didn't look like me, hair didn't look like mine, but they wanted to say something because they knew the undertones in that email as well. So that's the way we call this out.
Well, thank you so much once again for coming on. And we'll continue to support you. And we want everybody to, reach out and send support, but also follow you Nightside, follow you on Twitter. You can keep up with Bobbi McSwine on Twitter at McSwineBNews. I got all that right. And of course, right here on WHAS. So thank you again, Bobbi.